Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Franco, and today I'll be sharing with you how I winterize my sprinkler system on the Homestead. So now that we're in the middle of fall and we've had some 30 and 40 degree mornings, that tells me it's time to winterize the sprinkler system. So winterizing your sprinkler system consists of blowing compressed air through the supply line of your sprinkler system. This is done just after the shutoff valve. This will assure that you have a majority of the standing water out of your sprinkler system. If you leave the standing water in the lines during the wintertime, there is a big potential for them to freeze and to rupture the lines underground. So the equipment you'll need is an air compressor, an air hose, and some kind of adapter to tie into your sprinkler system. So every application and sprinkler system is different. You're going to need to find out what exactly needs to be done to blow out your line from inside the house or inside the foundation wall. Essentially, you want to get all the water out up to the shutoff valve. This will assure that you get majority of the water out, and you should be left with just very little amounts of water in the lines themselves. That way, if the water ever expands due to freezing, you don't have any potential problems with the lines rupturing. Alright, so now it's time to get down to business. I'll show you my process and what it takes to get these things blown out. Alright, let's go check it out. So one key factor in winterizing your sprinkler system correctly is to have an air compressor that has sufficient air volume, not PSI. PSI, they're all going to have good PSI. It's air volume, basically your tank size. This is a 25-gallon tank, and it keeps up just fine. If you had anything smaller, you're probably going to have an issue. You're probably not going to get enough air displacement to get everything out of there efficiently. The bigger the tank, the more air you're going to have available to get all the lines evacuated. So if you don't have either the equipment or the confidence to do this whole process, it's probably best to just leave it up to a professional. Alright, so we're inside the house, and this is basically where the sprinkler supply line exits the foundation to the zone valves. And the first thing we're going to do is shut off the water supply to the sprinkler system. Alright, so what you're looking at now is a blowout adapter. Basically consists of an air hose fitting with a brass adapter that's attached to this valve here. So the second step would be to attach your air hose to the blowout adapter. So once you hook up your air hose to the blowout adapter, you next want to run your air compressor until it builds full tank pressure. So if you run your compressor right off the bat and don't allow it to build up full tank pressure, it's not going to have enough oomph to push out all the water in the system. Alright, we're at the air compressor. Another thing you want to think about is what you want to use for PSI. You want to use the same PSI as the pressure coming in from your house. I'm going to go with 60 PSI because that's just a safe pressure for me, and that's what my well pump is set to. So the air compressor has come up to full pressure. The next step would be to open up this valve to allow air to go into the sprinkler system. But before that, I want to explain what I'm going to be doing. So after I open up this valve, I will come over here to the sprinkler timer. I'm going to manually advance this into its cycle. What I have done is I've set each one of the zones here, 4 zones, to 3 minutes. So what that's going to do is basically I'm going to manually advance it, it's going to go into its normal cycle, and it's going to run each zone for 3 minutes only. This will allow the air compressor to continuously run, and the system will just go into its normal cycle, and all 4 zones basically will be blown out. So after the 4th zone, this is going to stop, and then I can shut off the air compressor. So some of you guys might have to manually open up your zone valves. I don't have that option. My zone valves are behind this wall here, and they are buried. There's no access to them unless I had to replace them. Alright, so now I'm actually going to open up the valve and set the sprinkler timer. By the way, this is a Rainbird RC-7BI sprinkler controller. Now you can hear the air flowing through the system. We have the shutoff valve in the off position. Now all the air is going through the sprinkler system, and now when we go outside we should see the sprinkler heads popped up and draining water. Here we go. We can see the sprinkler zone going off. So you can tell the end of the line because the last sprinkler is going to be shooting the most water, which is down there. So once that guy basically shoots all of his water out of the line, then you know that zone is good. All right, so I think I'm gonna go manually advance it to the next zone because this one's all set. All right, so zone 1 is done, and we're gonna go to zone 2 manually. I'm going to advance this forward. All right, so the second zone is all cleared out. There's no more water coming out of it. We just got some bubbles and some mist. So now I'm going to advance to the third zone. There we go, to the third one. All right, so the third zone is all set. This is the last one here that's still blowing a little bit of mist. So we're gonna now advance to the fourth zone, the last zone. All right, so I'm gonna advance this to the stop position. Turn that off. Now the next step would be to shut now your valve down because now we're completely done. After you shut this valve off, now you can shut the air compressor off. Now that the blowout valve is in the fully closed position, I can go ahead and remove the air line from the system. And that's that. We are completely done winterizing the sprinkler system. Alright, so that's it for today, guys. I hope you found the video interesting, and stay tuned for more homestead related videos. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys, and have a nice day.